What is up, internet? This is Luke, and I'm back with yet another LEGO Star Wars set. I'm still out here trying to wrap up the fall 2022 wave, as I got most of them towards the end of the year. And I did not get all the sets of the wave just because me personally, I did not want all of them. There was only a few that I wanted. I've also gotten a few of the Star Wars 2023 January wave. I've got the TIE Bomber and the 501st Battle Pack coming in right now. So until then, I am going to be taking a look at a couple more 2022 fall sets. And I started off reviewing these LEGO sets with possibly one of the most ugly looking LEGO sets we've gotten, which was the 2022 version of the Republic fighter tank. But now we're going to be taking a look at possibly one of the most beautiful LEGO Star Wars sets that we've gotten. This is the Inquisitor Transport Scythe from the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, retailing for $100 US, and with 924 pieces, 4 exclusive and really awesome minifigures, as well as just a really great build for the ship. I would say it's definitely worth the value, which is unfortunately a rare statement these days, but nonetheless, let's go ahead and dive in. First, we're going to take a look at that packaging. So I have to say, this is some of my favorite box art that I've seen on a LEGO Star Wars set. I always love it when there's a nice big ship displayed against a starry background. And yes, I know that's horribly damaged. I probably should just throw it away, but the box art is way too nice. And here's yet another example of that space background. I love how it looks. It really makes it feel like Star Wars. And as you can see, we're getting pretty much the same thing with the box art for this set. There isn't as much going on in the background, but we still get a nice backdrop with the stars and then kind of a shadowed Tatooine over here. This box also does have some damage. It was purchased off of eBay because it was cheaper on there. I'm pretty sure it only cost around $80 for this set, sealed and packaging, but the only cost was that the box was slightly damaged. So it's definitely worth it, in my opinion. Of course, we got all 4 minifigs displayed down here. We've got Ben Kenobi, the Grand Inquisitor, Reva, the third sister, and the 5th brother. We've also got Obi-Wan and Darth Vader kind of on the corner over here with the blue accent denoting that this is from the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. And as you can see, it is set number 75336. For the featured minifig up top, we've got the Grand Inquisitor. And on the back of the box, we've got a nice action scene set up with the minifigs and all of the features of the set on display. We've got Tatooine in the background. And as you can see, there is a full interior on the inside of this thing. And I would say it is one of the best interiors that we've seen, at least with a ship of this size. As our one and only light-sided minifigure that we get in this set, we've got this version of Ben Kenobi. It is his outfit from the beginning of the show when he's still hiding out on Tatooine. He's got a really nice soft goods poncho with some tattering on the back, and underneath all that he has a blue tunic with a belt with some decent looking prints, but nothing too special. There is no printing on his legs, they're just brown, but we do get this newer headpiece, at least I think it's new, for his longer hair, and it looks pretty good. And we've also got this face print for him where he's looking more calm. And then around the other side, we have his alternate head where he's looking a bit more displeased. We do get the newer version of the lightsaber blade in this set that's a bit more solid, a bit more foggy looking, and it does look a lot more accurate to how the lightsaber blades look in the source material, so I guess that's good. The other 3 minifigures we get in this set are all Inquisitors. Starting off with the Grand Inquisitor, this is a great looking minifigure. Of course, he does have that double-bladed lightsaber that the Inquisitors have with that unique hilt piece. You've got some nice prints on the torso and then continuing down to the legs, and of course the one face print that we do get is really good looking. There are some prints on his chest piece right there, and by that I kind of mean the extra piece on top of the torso with the shoulders. There's some red lighting on there and then a little target symbol. And for this extra chest piece, we do get some pauldrons and a clip at the back where his lightsaber can be stored. There's also some printing on the back of the head since he is of that Utapau race, which I believe is called the Pau-on or something. I don't know. There's 2 species that come from Utapau. There's like these short guys and then there's these like really pale tall guys, and that's what the Grand Inquisitor is. He does have kind of ridges on the back of his head, so that's what that print is there for. And underneath that extra armor, there's the continuation of the print. It's basically just displaying the same thing that's on the extra chest armor. This version of the Grand Inquisitor is unique from the Rebels version of the minifigure that we got a while back in 2015. This version, however, does not come with his helmet, unfortunately, but nonetheless, this is a really great looking minifigure and is definitely my favorite one in this set. Next up, there's Reva, or Reva, however you say her name. She's got that same double-bladed lightsaber, but this is a far more simplistic figure compared to the others. All we get is the torso print, which looks decent, and then there's also the torso print on the back. There is only one face print where she's just looking kind of displeased, and of course this hairpiece. Her cape is also a little bit different from the normal capes. It's not as wide, making this figure a bit more unique. And finally, we have the fifth brother Inquisitor, which is also a really great looking minifigure. I believe this is the first time that we have gotten this character in Lego form, although I might be mistaken. Once again, there is the same double-bladed lightsaber, and he does have some extra armor over the torso. It is a different mold from the Grand Inquisitors, though. There is another clip back there where you can store his lightsaber hilt, and he also has this special helmet piece which can be removed, and you can see all the printing on his face, which looks really cool, and there's some extra detail on the back. If you remove the extra armor, you can get a good look at all of the torso prints, which are pretty cool looking. He does have the same leg prints as the Grand Inquisitor, though, and that's what it looks like around the back. And that about does it for the minifigures, so let's go ahead and take a look at the Scythe, which is somewhat of a cheesy name if it really is just the Scythe, or maybe it is Scythe by itself. I don't really know, but I do know that Scythe is a cool word, and this is a really cool ship. Also, here is a minifigure for the size comparison, and while we didn't see this ship very much in the Obi-Wan show, it kind of instantly became one of my favorite ship designs in Star Wars. I'm gonna try as hard as I can to not say this just looks really cool and this is a really good design over and over again throughout this video, but just know that that's basically how I feel about this. It just looks really cool, and I really don't have anything bad to say about it. It is landed right now, and underneath the ship there is some landing gear. It's not retractable, but you can remove them if you would like to. It is pretty easy to remove them because they are a little bit annoying, at least when you're trying to have the ship in flight mode. They kind of just dangle there, and you'll see that later. And I do really want to point out just how sleek this thing looks. It's so seamless in its design. You have all of these angles and things going on here, and there's barely any gaps in the build that kind of ruin it. It looks like it's one solid thing, and I would have to say it's one of the best designed Lego Star Wars ships that we've had. Some of my favorite parts of the ship are, of course, the mandibles we have here, as they are just really sleek looking, and they provide a really cool and unique shape for the vehicle. But as you may be thinking, this does look a bit similar to Krennic's Imperial Shuttle, and it does seem that both of those ships were kind of inspired after each other because they have very similar shaping, and I am going to do a comparison between them later on in the video because I do have the Krennic's Imperial Shuttle set still built. You've also got the red tinted windows at the cockpit, which just look really cool, and they open up well, actually. It opens up in a little bit of a complicated way, but that's just how the cockpit itself opens. We'll take a look at the interior later. I also really like how this whole section looks with the greebling and everything, and there's a really nice mixture between studded and smooth surfaces. You've also got the backside, which looks really good as well, and I love the use of these smooth triangular plates, and the engines look really good too. And here I have both the Krennic's Imperial Shuttle and the Inquisitor Transport Scythe together. I do want to go ahead and apologize for Krennic's shuttle being so dusty. I've had it since it came out, and normally I do go through and dust off everything every once in a while, but I haven't done that in a while, and I also have no idea where my little duster vacuum went, so I'm kind of at a loss. But as you can see, both of these ships are definitely similar in terms of their overall designs. It really is that like angular pyramid shape going on here, and I really love it. Krennic's shuttle is also one of my favorite looking Star Wars ships, but as you can see with this set, there's a lot more gaps in the plating, and it just doesn't look as whole as the newer ship does. It especially looks really bad around the cockpit area, but I still think this is a pretty good looking build. I still like it quite a bit. And the reason I show it off is just because you have to admire how they went from that to this, you know, with such a seamless design, especially around the backside. That just looks really great compared to Krennic's shuttle. And it has been about 7 years, so yeah, there better be an improvement. And to finish up the exterior of the set, here it is in flight mode. I think it looks just so awesome, and especially that angle right there. I do apologize for my glowing skin. I am quite pale. Instead, just focus on how beautiful this ship is. And as you can see with the landing gear, they just kind of dangle there. Once again, you can remove them pretty easily, so it's not something to worry about, but it is still kind of annoying. And just so I can show it off a bit more in all of its dust-caked glory, here is Krennic's Imperial Shuttle in flight mode. And this set does actually have retractable landing gear, as you can see. So they definitely could have done it on the Inquisitor ship, but oh well. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at what this thing has on the inside. So first off, there is a little ramp right here that can fold down. You can't actually place any minifigures on it since it's all anti-studs and slopes, but you can have it look like there is a figure exiting the ship. Unfortunately though, this thing doesn't really connect to the inside very well. It's a lot like the landing ramp in Krennic's Imperial Shuttle, where it's not really functional. It's just a little detail that comes down. It's just there really for added detail. And moving these wings down, we can open this thing up fully. If you take the cockpit and just lift that all the way up, there is joints all along that. You can open up the back as well, and these panels fold out, fully opening the ship's interior. On the inside, we do have this control panel and this pilot seat that has a movable back part. There is a couple studs there where you can place a minifigure, and the Inquisitors with their extra armor can fit in there. And there's 2 more seats right behind that where the Inquisitors can also sit down. And yes, there's still room for their armor. You've also got these peg holes, I guess. I don't really know what else to call them, you know, and I call myself a Lego fan, but they are right behind these seats. And I think on the box, it shows that you can place the lightsaber blades in there like this. Of course, you'd have to detach the top blade. So it's looking kind of like that. And that's just a really weird way to store the lightsabers. I don't know if I'm doing it the intended way, but it is a little bit awkward and I don't really prefer that. But you can do it if you need to. We've also got a bunch of stickers along these control panels right here, which provide some really nice details, and they are on the other side as well. And there's more stickers at the back showing some light and wall details. There is plenty of more room inside here for more minifigs, although you are going to have to place them all the way down on these studs. And it seems like with all the space you're given, maybe you could sit, you know, 3 or 4 more minifigures in there behind the Inquisitors, but it's clearly not meant to place minifigures down on, at least when they're sitting. You can have them standing at the control panels and stuff like that, but it is a little bit awkward. Although you can get everything closed back up even with a minifigure standing in there, and it all looks pretty nice. And that's about it for the interior. There are some spring-loaded shooters right underneath the wings, and it doesn't really count as an action feature, but we do have these blasters on the ends of the wings there, which I kind of forgot to mention earlier. But other than that, that's pretty much it for this set. So all in all, we get 4 really amazing and exclusive minifigures, a really awesome looking ship, and one of the best looking builds we've gotten in LEGO Star Wars, alongside an amazing interior and some really great play features. And all of that for only around $100. I would say it's one of the best value LEGO sets that we've gotten in a pretty long time. So that about does it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Next up is going to be my video on the 2022 ATTE set. And after that, I should be moving on to the newer 2023 sets. So be looking forward to those. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.